Good afternoon. See if anyone will join me. Hello. 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 There's a lot of noise outside. They're taking a tree out in my. It's not a plaza. These row of warehouses. They're taking a tree out. Yay, you're first. Hey, I'm Cass. How are you? Girls and guys. Well, your brain is fried. Dude, you should have seen the jury. I was trying to think of a name for this show today. One that would get past the YouTube censors. I'm so embarrassed for my town. No tree fell yet. There are some rotten trees behind us, so I'm glad they're taking care of it. At least I look good on TV. Well, bless your heart, because I didn't think so today, but thank you. Am I feeling better? I'm not sure who it is. I would have to go back in every chat in the last 3 days or 4 days and research it. But whoever said Bragg's apple cider is the winner. Woo, win. Because cut the shit out of my gut right away. I mean, cut. It was in minutes. I felt better. It's still horsey, but nothing like I was. It was so gross. What a big, I know. So bad. It's so bad. I don't know, like, where's chat? I wanted to ask Chat GPT, like, what is ineffective counsel? Like, how would a defendant have to prove for ineffective counsel? And how often does it work? I mean, it is just to prove ineffective counsel, a defendant generally has to meet a high legal standard set by the Supreme Court in Strickland v. Washington back in 1984. It's two-pronged: deficient performance, failing to investigate key evidence. They haven't done that. Not filing necessary motions. They haven't done that. Giving incorrect legal advice. Hard to say. Not preparing for trial or cross-examination. Ding, ding, ding. Conflicts of interest. Not there. Prejudice to the defense. If the attorney failed to present an alibi witness, there's nothing of that. How often it works. Success rates are very low. Most courts presume lawyers acted competently. Of course they do. And defendants rarely succeed in showing both deficiency of performance and prejudice. So they have to find both. Studies show that less than 10% of ineffective assistance claims are successful on appeal. Claims are more likely to exceed if failure to investigate exculpatory evidence, not advising a defendant properly about a plea deal, or if it was capital case, there was mitigating evidence. It's not enough to show your lawyer made a mistake. You have to prove those mistakes cost you the case. I don't think that's it. I don't think so. Oh, God, that scared the shit out of me. So they're dropping equipment right over my head. God. Taking a tree out, Wendy. This is actually what a tree looks like. Hey, Elisa. Hope they don't hit my truck. Hey, Deanna. Hi, Creative and Nancy. Say that a bunch of times. Hey, your latex spouse and Sade and Margaret and Lady of the Sun. That's a great name. Hey, She Fly. Almost did it. What a day. Not what I expected. Thank you. Anyway, thank you to the person who suggested Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I mixed it with water. Take it 3 times a day now. Works very well. Patty, glad you're here after that dull day in court. Well, I have like about an hour and a half till I have to go to an appraisal. Bragg's is the bomb. Apparently it is. It wasn't even tasting that bad. You were listening online and bored to death at all it was all the silence. You should have seen the jury's demeanor. It was unbelievable, the change. Most of the time they've been sitting forward, paying attention, taking notes. They were like this. Oh. Like they were waiting to get a tooth pulled. I did try it, apple cider vinegar. That's what I took. Done 245, first day of defense. So let's talk about that. So I am Patty Wilson, and this is Patty's Playhouse, and I am a real estate broker, and I sell homes for a living. And when you sell homes for a living, you have to kind of control the situation. You control the transaction, especially when you're the listing agent. So a buyer, sellers come in, I want to sell my house. You got to make sure they don't wander off. They don't go on a cruise the day of closing. They just don't sail away, right? They're there. They're there to sign. They bring their documents. Everything is paid for in advance. You control the transaction. If I were an attorney, which I'm not, I would treat my client and the witnesses that I'm presenting the same way. When I worked as a nurse, I use this when I'm in sales all the time, selling real estate. I tell people what I'm going to do before I do it so that they're not shocked by something. And I use the example with new agents. When you're a nurse and someone's been laying in bed for a while, they're weak. So I'm going to guide them to stand up. I'm going to tell them to turn using their hips and swing both legs onto the end of the bed. I'm going to tell them to wait a second. I'm going to tell them to ooch forward, to plant their feet on the ground. I'm going to tell them to put their knees shoulder width apart. I'm going to tell them to open their arms up like this so I can help guide them and pivot them forward. But you tell all of this beforehand. Today, none of that happened. Tim Kelly, who I know well, Armor Realty, he was the real estate agent that sold Dan and Wendy the house on Truscott back in 2007. Apparently in 2001, he was called by Dan to show Harvey and Donna some homes here in Tallahassee, of which they did not buy. And clearly things changed in their relationship in those 3 years because he was shot in the garage by 2 thugs, directed by Donna and Charlie, and likely Wendy, right? We know that. Tim Kelly is sitting in the back of the damn courtroom, and Fulford, who sits like this the whole time, is not paying attention to anything. You got 2 paralegals. One's just rubbing Donna upside and down the other for whatever reason. And the other one, I don't even know what the hell she does. I have no idea. She doesn't help find paperwork. She doesn't do anything that I can tell. Nothing. She looks cute. She's got great glasses, but that's it. Tim Kelly's in the back. Now, if you've ever been a witness, I have been a witness, you are told to sit outside. Happens all the time. I've been a witness in probably 5 or 6 civil cases. More than the cell tower girl. I've been a witness more than that. As an expert. Not going to lie. Nice pay. Tim Kelly's sitting in the back. You know why Tim Kelly was sitting in the back? Because he didn't know he couldn't sit in the back. They're making a fool out of this poor man who's done nothing wrong because he's sitting in the back. So it got up to thank you, Judge Everett, eventually, that the guy was sitting in the back. The bailiffs had to go around and talk to people. He was sitting right next to mentor lawyer in the last row about how long he was in the back. Now, they could have verified it because they have overhead cameras, but they took the word of the people in the back. That's fine. Not a problem. It was pretty consistent, 10 to 15 minutes. And it certainly wasn't going to influence his testimony. But that's not the point. My point is that woman and that man have absolutely no control over the witnesses. None. You cannot let a witness in the courtroom like that. I know that. I bet 98% of you know that. You just can't. Then that one chick, the African-American lady, Tarana Khan, she's sitting out on the bench listening to everyone else come back from lunch, instead of minding her own business and going to the other side. What are you all doing? Now, I want Donna to have a fair trial because I don't want to go through this again, and I don't want Leon County to pay for a third one. But they have no control over their witnesses. They're sending Harvey out to get the witness. Harvey. Not the paralegals on staff. I'd be like, Harvey's doing it. But I'm like, you work for me. You go get the witness. You prep the witness. Why aren't you prepping the witness? So that's my story on that. I felt bad for Tim Kelly. He did nothing wrong because he didn't know. It's only a problem if you know. And he wasn't told. Guarantee you he was not told. Because he would know better. I think he's older than me. He's certainly been a realtor longer than me. He's probably had to testify before. So it's just embarrassing. This is international. And Jackie Fulford's like flopping around like, oh, no. This is her tucking her hands in her sleeves. Lady, try a different script because what you got ain't working. And then you got the Tarana Khan coming up who was sitting out on the bench before lunch and then after lunch listening to all of us going off about the trial, which should not have happened, but it's a public space, but she shouldn't have been there. Not in my opinion, which is a layperson. Her testimony was nonsense. It only got worse from there. It was just a mess. I mean, why bring Tim Kelly in to talk about, they didn't even prep it well. Like, they don't ask great questions. They don't phrase it well. Did Dan and Donna and Harvey have a jovial relationship? Were they getting along? Was there a giggle? Did they seem like they were intent on buying sometime in the future, even if they didn't buy now? Like, ask a question that doesn't lead them, but like creates the idea that they have a relationship. No other questions? Like, you made the man leave his job to drive down there and say he showed a few homes. And then what kicked me in the ass was Zellman saying, and was Lisa Carey working with you at the time? No. Why would you ask a question like that you don't already know the answer to? And then he's like, well, Lisa Carey and I were a team before. And then Lisa Carey went on to work with another Lisa, and it was Lisa and Lisa at Coldwell Banker. I'm like, why didn't he know that? Why didn't you ask Tim Kelly that? What are you doing all the time? So it's just like an on and on and on, mistake after mistake after mistake. You bring the guy in, he misses work for a day, and this is the shit show that you present him to. And then you don't even know who the man worked with. So Lisa and I used to work together, but we didn't work together then. So they probably worked together when they bought the house in 2007. And that's probably how Wendy knew Lisa, neither of which people are Jewish, by the way, knew Lisa. And then she works with her later to find a property to buy. And that house is on Whittendale in the Ox Bottom neighborhood in Tallahassee. And then Tim Kelly's cast aside, which happens, always happens. It's no big deal. But you bring him in to say, I showed a home. I showed a home. He didn't even know. I showed a home 14 years ago to Harvey and Donna. And then they looked at all the homes here and they're like, fuck this. I'm not living here. It was a defenseless defense. Your ovaries aged 10 years today. You can't hear. I can't help that. I'm loud and clear today. But it's nice to see you, Charlotte. She works with me. We've been friends since I moved here. You feel like the defense is just jerking you around, Doris, wasting the court's time and money. So bad. Ox Bottom, it was a farm. So it was Ox Bottom Farms. And there were oxes that lived on the farm. Hence, Ox Bottom Farm. It's a very nice neighborhood. Oh, thanks, Liza Ann. That was very nice of you. What an obscene waste of court time to end at 2:45. I know. So last year, when Charlie was due to take the stand, they announced it. That day, Charlie was in there. It was a packed house. But it was a packed house today, maybe in hopes that Charlie was going to, Donna would testify. I don't know if Charlie will testify tomorrow. I know the judge gets the list in advance, like he has an idea of who's coming in. But he made sure to note, likely on camera, that the defense had no other mistakes they were allowed to make. Oh my God, I know. And then the Golden Girl bestie, apparently WhatsApp wasn't doing COVID calls until the first quarter of 2015. So Donna's friend didn't call from Donna on the 18th of July on another way to call. I know. So bad. Must be Viber. Viber allowed calls because I went and looked it up. Annie, just a bit Cunningham, was lying on her Golden Girl butt. Where's Leslie B? Leslie B was so funny. One day of the trial last week, she's like, Patty, it's like J. Jill and Chico's threw up in that courtroom because of what everyone was wearing. And then that lady definitely had a Chico's blouse on. Definitely. Annie. I was thinking today, Wendy is too lazy to be kosher. She can't even be barely Jewish. I don't think she believes in God personally. Nothing burgers all around. That she's not going to get, I read it, she's not going to get ineffective assistance. It's very, very, very rare. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, Tennis Girl. I know. Like, what was she saying? Annie was like, I knew nothing about this case. I didn't pay any attention. Next line, was that after the bump? How'd you know about the bump, Annie? All the witnesses were a disaster. That's fantastic as long as the jury believes it. Annie was lying through her teeth. Khan had an attitude and was rare and really not very well spoken. I'm sorry, she just wasn't. How many times did you meet with her? One. I just don't get that. I can't rely on you, who's only met with this person once, for you to judge that they know everything or don't know everything. And when that PI went through, who happens to own a car wash, because they all do, I'm just going to say it like this. You're a tall, skinny white guy who doesn't look like you have any street cred at all, going and meeting Patricia Byrd in the attorney's cubicle at the jail, asking her a plethora of questions, You honestly freaking expect me to believe that she opened up to you and was completely honest with you? She probably was like, "What's in it for me? Why would I help you?" She's worn that suit before, Olivia. She's wearing the same clothes over and over again. But that PI guy, Eddie Varnes, what comes right out of a bad TV show. Eddie Varnes. Why not E. Edward or something like a little bit more? No, I'm Eddie. How do you get your business, Eddie? I market myself. I don't really know what else to say. God. I mean, he did a lot of insurance work. And now it's 10 years criminal, which is a lot, depending on how many cases that is a year. He owns a car wash. So how many cases is 10 years? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, let's break this down. I've been doing it for 10 years. Tenure does not equal ability. I think we could all agree. When I first started selling real estate, I was selling 75 homes a month as a buyer's agent, which is a lot of freaking work. And I don't ever want to do it again. But people would say to me, I've been doing this for 20 years. And some of those people didn't sell 150 homes in 20 years. So tenure does not equal capability, not in my head. So you worked for an agency and now you work for yourself for 10 years. Is 10 years 5 cases a year, 20 cases a year? How many is it? It's just like that cell tower chick who was an idiot, no offense. First of all, there's 2 Kelsey Guays. One is a social worker, and they look very similar. And the other one is this girl. How many hours have you studied? About 100. Not even 3 weeks worth. So I'm breaking that down because I'm analytical. And I'm like, 3 weeks? You've had 3 weeks of testimony, like 10 of training. And you got Corbett in there, thousands of hours. And you just don't like where he put the comma? That's where they came from? You don't like the comma. You don't like the celebrate put in seconds in a different space than where you thought it should be. She's not saying the data was bad. She just didn't like the order it appeared. Are you serious with your 100 hours? You don't know how much your company's making? Guaranteed you're not even getting the half of it, which is 5,000. Bet you make less than that. Because you're new. In the whole ream of celebrate, you're new. And you're going to come up against Chris Corbett? He's had more than 100 hours just in this case. That wasn't what I was asked to look at. Limited scope. Stop it. If you want to grow at anything, don't tell people that was not what I was asked to look at. Who was I talking with? Oh, last night I was talking to a friend of mine who's an attorney, and her husband's a judge, and judge in the circuit. And she was saying, Patty, attorneys are just lazy. We were talking about the planner. And I was telling her that Dan Rashbaum handed that basically over to the state as discovery and never read through it. He never read through it, so he didn't realize the license tag number was in there. No way did he read through that. And so she was saying, attorneys are lazy. They don't go through each page. They only go on what they're focusing on instead of the extra. And that's what made me think of this chick with the Celebrate Tower, Kelsey. She didn't name herself. It's not her fault. Kelsey is saying, well, it's not what I was asked to do. Kelsey, this woman's life is on the line. Maybe you could go beyond your 5 rows and maybe find a different column or something. Like maybe you could look, is there anything else in all of this data that could help refute the claims that the state has? No, I can't. You know why? Because it wasn't what I was asked to do. I bet if you took a look, you might make your company more money. Hey, Mr. Roloff, Josiah, hey, I'm not related to the dwarf people, but I found this. It wasn't in my scope. Can you go back to the Adelsons and say, would you be willing to pay for this extra time? Shit, yeah, they would have. But no one thinks like that. She's not a planner. She doesn't see 5 steps ahead. She probably freaking doesn't know she's really good at Excel, but she doesn't know what a decision tree looks like. So she can't troubleshoot the path. I'm like, oh my God, this is the best you could do. It was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable to sit there. It was unbelievable in my experience to research for free for people and know that every time I research looking for genealogy for a family, or which is most of the time genealogy, or just for fun in this case, I go beyond. I built a whole family tree for the Adelsons because I wanted to know this person, this person, this person. This person lived here, this person. Like, I wanted to know it all. And I don't have it memorized. I mean, that part I gave her. She's not going to have it memorized, but you're certainly going to go, maybe I'll add another column just in case I see something that shouldn't be there. I can sort it later. She didn't do it because she wasn't paid to. Just drives me crazy. Just drives me insane. Ava tells me about reflex treatment you say Fairchild's. How much daily and what have to? I don't even know what that means, Norma. I'm sorry. She was human. Oh, that's right, Linda. She took a human look at it versus the analyzer. She was human. I forgot. I took a human look at it. And I know that all of those people that happen to be in software or engineering that were jurors would love. Yeah, civil engineers, I'm going to look at the human side instead of the analytical side, run it through the software for a stress test of a freaking bridge. Yeah, I'm going to go by humans because it just wasn't sorted the way I thought it should be. That's it. Thanks, Doris, so much as I'm ranting again. Thank you, Liza Ann. Also, she was not aware of the duplicates, which made the number different. Oh, yeah. Zellman, my favorite line of the day. Did you redupe it? "12 years of school. Who knows how long it took him to get his JD? I don't. Probably more than 3 years. Did you redupe it? Because the freaking juror knows exactly what that means. They don't know what it means. You can't keep your people engaged because you don't know how to speak to your people. Your audience is the 14 people to the side. And I'm telling you what, when that tape was rolling for over it was an hour, but they ran a half hour, the jury was gone. They were gone. Jimmy McNutty was sitting ahead of me. I said, Jimmy, did you see that the jury was gone? He goes, oh my God, they were out of it. I said, I counted 7 at one time had their hands like this. Or they were like this. Like, you literally like this. One had her pen. And I was like, is she vaping? Like, to me, I was like, what is she doing? Because she had her pen like this. She's chewing on her pen. Like, she's not vaping. She's chewing on her pen. It was bad. You're patiently waiting for some hilariousness. Yeah, tell Jibs to get up. Come on. But they did not bring Corbett to refute her. They can't. It's the defense's case. Marianne, we're in the defense case. They can't bring a witness in. They can do a rebuttal and then bring Corbett back in, but they can't do it until then. That's so true. I'm in a dental malpractice suit, and they were looking at the breach of contract. And meanwhile, you see all the self-damaging records they left in there from fraud. Thank you, Maria. All I'm saying is it doesn't take too much time, $150, an extra half hour to compute it. Because if that's your control, right? Your controller is like, it looked like 5 or 6 columns was her control. That was all. And you have all this extra data that you didn't consider in creating this wanton, random 6-column spreadsheet with an Excel, you got a problem. Now, I don't know what the problem is going to be, but I hope they bring Corbett when the state has its rebuttal case, and I hope he tears her a new one. And she can't come back. She's flying out. So she has nothing on that point. So I really do hope. I know with Charlie's case, they did not have a rebuttal case. I hope they do have a rebuttal case. I hope they drive Patricia back up here and have her tell the same damn story. And I hope they bring Corbett in to refute that nonsense. But right now, it's the defense's case, so the state can't call a witness. She had no critical thinking skills. 100 hours. 100. 100 hours of training, less than 3 weeks. And I think, let's see if Chris Corbett has a resume. Hold on. We do. He's had 100 hours. He had 100 hours in the Lori Page case. How many times have you been an expert? 1. Are you freaking kidding me? Let's see. I'm seeing if he has like, God forbid, a LinkedIn. Mm-mm. There's so many. Let me ask chat. I found it. Let me show you. I love ChatGPT so much. I don't care. I don't care if kids cheat. I just don't care. I hope it should be available to everyone. Let me expand this. So I wasn't able to locate a publicly available full CV or resume of TPD. However, I did find a reputable source, his Public Safety Hall of Fame at Tallahassee Community College Foundation, that provides a detailed professional biography. I'm reading to the right because I have another screen over here. His law enforcement started in 92, initially served as a reserve deputy sheriff with Wakulla County Sheriff, joined TPT in the 95. Patrol officer, field training, criminal investigator, adjunct firearms, adjunct internal affairs, technical operations. Promotion elevated to sergeant in 12, currently supervising the technical operations. Awards, authored several departmental honors. Certified technical investigator with the National Technical Investigators Association. Serves as vice president of its Southeast chapter. Provides training to law enforcement officers, specializes in telecommunications device. Mission-focused work to align the current and emerging technologies with departments. While not a CV, this profile offers a robust overview of him, which I guess it does. So he's been doing this since 12. In 13 years, think he has more than 100 hours? This isn't Proctor, people. My paralegal called and sent him a text, but we didn't know where he was. You would not want your surgeon to cheat through medical school. No offense. But if you think people don't cheat in medical school, you're naive. Sorry, but naive. Still got to pass the test. But passing the test, for a lot of people, they just know how to pass tests. And it's like real estate school. It's not the same at all. But real estate school just teach you how to be ethical and know the law. It doesn't teach you how to be a real estate agent. You'll be happy when it's over. Then what would I have to talk to you about, Claudia? Listening to this young lady, I half expected to hear say, but one time in band camp, it's really sad. Common Sense tells you they tried to find a better company, but no company values their reputation is going to take it. They had to go the whole way. Let me go to that roll-off company. Let me see. Digital. Ask chat. I'm not even doing it. How many are in Florida? Not that it has to stay in-house, but I just want to know. It's thinking. We could do a better job at questioning. Once this is over, we can follow you on covering Wendy. I'm going to follow the Phoenix Eichner case. He was the FSU shooter. And then I'm going to follow the Missy Mogul case, which is the 5-year-old that was horribly killed here, whose partial responsibility is the judge that's on the case. Okay, so identified. There's plenty. Digital Shield, Forensic Store, Precision Digital Forensics, so eForensics. Look at this. There's a lot. There's a lot of companies in this town. Patty, are you going to cover the Shannon Gardner case from afar? I'm not driving to Jacksonville for that twat. No. So anyway, there's plenty of companies here. Jacksonville's not far. Palm Beach, get yourself Florida on. Orlando, Miami, eForensics. There's plenty. You had to find the lowest ring on the totem pole. Oh, they're offering a job. Let's see, digital forensic examiner. Let's see what they offer. This is the roll-off people. Are you a type A person? Now, I have a question. I don't know everything about a personality profile, but in what world was Kelsey a type A personality? And why would you want a type A when you want a type C? You want the analytical. You want the person, you don't want the overdriven personality. I just don't buy that. You want the person who's going to sit there and comb through and find the problem. That is someone like myself, who I'm going to sit and read and read and read and read beyond my paid time until I find some problem with something. I don't understand. They want a mid-level experience, but they want all of this. They probably ain't paying for it. Bonus, a digital forensic certification. Bonus. Rest easy with medical and dental. I don't know. Today was the day of the snowbirds. I know. Who? at no cost because they're friends and that's what friends do from Jersey or Naples is going to keep an eye on your 16-unit apartment complex. And who and why? Bigger question, which I wish they would have asked, state would have asked. Hey, Richard Chagrin, that's what I'm going to call him. Why were you given financial responsibility to approve any repairs for the 16-plex while Harvey is in Vietnam for less than 90 days? Why would you need to make those financial decisions? He's not at the other end of the world. He kind of is. But I mean, he has access to phones and WhatsApp and Viber and anything else. So why would Richard need financial approval? Not Richard. It was Ronnie Gutterson. Why? Ronnie Gutterson is the guy that has financial approval for your 16-plex. Who said that? Claudia, thank you. I will tell John Steinbeck. He was the one who recommended the mic to me. Thank you. I just don't get it. Why would you have to give up financial responsibility and make repairs and approval? And how are you going to do that from Naples or Jersey? And if you're out of the country, it's New Jersey. The Chagrin guy, yeah. I mean, Chagrin. Yeah, we're all going to call you Chagrin now. No, we're going to call you Chagrin. Imagine being a friend and you lie on the stand for a murder. Imagine going to Japan. I don't care how many times you travel. You go to Japan, but you don't remember the year. You're on a 20-hour flight with Donna Adelson and you don't remember the year. God, imagine just being an introvert sitting behind them in business class, because that's all I could afford. In business class, and all you hear is yammer, 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 yammer. Ugh. Why do you wear that silly curly hat? You asking me? The Jewish friends will not play well with Tally Jury. No, I don't think so either. I would like to know what Donna and Harvey have done in the past when they leave town. It's pretty open. I'm not quite sure I understand. Judge Everett is not too happy with the defense at any point. I mean, it's just been kind of obvious. John Steinbeck was here for a minute. Oh, nice. Great guy. Thanks for letting me know that, Brady. Patty is having construction done outside of her office if anyone hears any outside noises. Thank you, your latex spouse. Yeah, they're taking a tree down. You can hear the saws. Imagine putting someone on the stand and not giving them any heads up to maybe what the state would ask them on cross. I know. Thanks, Jackie St. Germain. And you're doing a fabulous job with your podcast. I wanted to tell you. Thank you for being here. I love your lips. Love, not like your lips, but her logo lips, which I didn't put mine on. I should have done that. And sure left quickly. Yeah, she was at the airport. She'd turn around and come back. Let's see. Anything else? So Mr. Chagrin, don't know what he was there for. Travel agent. Been to 75 countries, but the chat, Roberta Glass, True Crime Report, it was so smart because they're like, well, he was probably on country tours. So they do like, my mom did that. My mom went on a tour. She went to Portugal, France, Italy, like a bunch of things at one time. Did not miss much with the defense. Will Charlie testify? We have no idea. There has not been any telegraphing of that information. We have no idea. You don't know what anyone was there for, Jackie said. Why the hell did they play that prison pod? No. All I can do is infer that the point of the prison pod video, which was far too long, was to show that Drina, her sunshine, Donna's sunshine, sits with her at a table and they write. Was that cleared up for you? I like them both very, very much. Patty, who is left to call on the witness list? Hold on. I have to get it. Because I don't know it off the top of my head. Hold on. If somebody has it faster than I do, let's see. Pro Gmail Charlie. Here it is. Because I had to redact it, right? So here is the witness list. Oh my, let me get this back to you. I have to close some of these screens out before I get shut out. Okay. So this witness list, let me expand it. James Todd Murphy was the guy who tried to say the media was so biased against Donna and that it would overwhelm any ability to sit a jury. Wendy Adelson, Susan Brotman is the wife of Richard Chagrin. She did not appear, but Richard did. Anne Cunningham appeared. Her life partner, Ronnie, appeared. Lisa Carey has not appeared. Tim Kelly did appear. Kristen Adamson is Wendy's last divorce attorney that Rashi pulled out of nowhere for whatever reason on his defense of Charlie Adelson before Charlie took the stand. Maricel Descazo can only speak if Katie gives her permission. Linda Bailey, I don't know if she will speak. She was one of Wendy's attorneys. Eddie Barnes, we heard from. Josiah was not there, but Kelsey Guay was there. Tarana Kane came. Jason Newland wasn't there. Craig Isom is likely not to come. So you have Charlie, Lisa Carey, Wendy maybe, I don't know, and Donna. That's all you have. Annie was a straight up gremlin. She loves her some Donna. I'll give her credit. I'm not lying for you. I don't care how much I love you. I'm not lying for you. About to go on a work trip. We'll probably pop here by here and there. Okay, Blue River. Have a good day. Invest in a big badass gaming computer. I did 2 years ago. I never crashed. I never lose tabs. Well, thanks, Bling. Someone didn't show up today. Who didn't show up? Joel is also very friendly. John is very friendly. I think they want the jury to think Donna didn't write as much as they were told. Is Wendy still on the call for rebuttal? We do not know. Wendy was told she can go out about her business, but she was still under the rule. Oh, hi, John. You're at a doctor appointment. I hope you're okay. So we don't know if the state's going to have a rebuttal case, let alone who they're going to call. They're not telegraphing to Patty's Playhouse. You know, I wish they would. You think someone was a no-show? Carl's serious, but when he gets on a giggle rant, I just can't control myself. Like, he must be having a heyday with this thing. Judge scolded them about having their witnesses there, and he said that that wasn't intentional. Well, he also was talking to them about the sequestration. So witnesses are not allowed to be in the courtroom. They're not allowed to talk to other witnesses, except in Annie and Ronnie's case. But they're not, they're under rule. So when they gave Wendy permission to leave, they said she was subject to recall, but was still under the rule, but free to go about her business. That was basically a quote. The personal witnesses today seem paid or persuaded to testify for Donna. I did not find them to be honest, just my opinion. Maricel will probably be tomorrow. Do you think she's going to come? I don't. Thanks, me entranced. Carl's voice is soothing. I fall asleep, but that's okay. Your comment was about the scolding. Yes, I understand about the judge scolding, but he was also talking to them about sequestration. He is sick and tired of their screw-ups. Judge, can I have a minute? Judge, can we have a moment? Judge, can we have a moment? Can we have a moment? Can we have a moment? Patty, I'm a realtor in Cape Cod and the islands. Look at you. Good for you. Send me referrals. I wish I had a referral for Cape Cod. I might be a referral. I'm never living on Cape Cod. Let's face it. Donna's first attorney. Oh yeah, Donna wants her there. Yeah. Marisol. Yeah, why would Marisol be there? And Tara Kwas. Why would Tara Kwas be on the stand? I don't know. I'm sick and tired of their screw-ups. You're listening and folding clothes, taking a break to read comments. Well, thank you. Hi, Jack Bo or Jack Tebow. I don't really know what that name is. Showing Donna getting on in a nice, clean prison environment will make it easier for the jury to put her there permanently. See the little bins they have under their little bunk beds? Dude, they roll those bunks up, don't they? Those bunks are clean during the day. They're not allowed to lay down. They are not allowed to lay down. When I worked at the jail, I worked night shift. I didn't work during the day. Nobody has time for all that. I can't deal with all that administration, you know. Did a witness miss a plane flight? I don't know. I don't know. But if you go back and watch that horrid video of the pod, notice all those bunks are green. There is no bedding on them. Showing Donna getting, yeah, I read that. But it is good. I mean, there were a couple people that mentioned that about the nice, clean environment. We're all sick and tired too. Oh my God, them and their 1,000th moments. I know. Judge, can I confer? Judge, we need to still talk to the witness. Judge, can I confer? Judge, we have to talk to the defendant. Judge, can I confer? Judge, we need a moment. I tell you, somebody like Jackie is good at it. Tanika's 2 cents is good at it. Somebody go in and edit and find all of those. I got to confer. I got to stop and just count. It's got to be endless. Maybe they thought the jury would be impressed, believe them because they might recognize the name Roloff. Not good reason, but they don't have much and don't know what to do with what they have. I just don't know that he's related, but how many Roloffs can there be in the country? Did DUI lawyers say next witness won't land till 10 a.m.? I did not hear that because he told everyone to be ready at 8:30. Ready at 8:30. It's complete incompetency, period. They are behind and delaying, slow, and can't keep up. It is embarrassing. Rashbaum, easy to make fun of. He didn't live here, right? He didn't live here. I'm having to make fun of people that live here, and they're just lousy at lawyering. And I'm not having to. I want to make fun of them. But it's a lot easier to make fun of people that don't reside here. It is. Small town, you know what I'm saying? And I love David Harvey, who's clearly best friends with Jackie Fulford. But I can't. Not in this case. Old very rich lady, hauls her behind quickly around county jail. There's nobody that's trying to rub up on her backside, is there? Somebody needs to get that date because it was 2024. There needs to be a date. I just thought of that. Where she was going back, remember? And she was trying to get the bail hearing. And she was like, and there was a police report or there was a report to the jail about somebody rubbing up her backside. I gotta write it down. I gotta do my own research. Sorry. I gotta look. Remember that? Donna had the backside like scraping. She's like, ooh, finger touches. And so she wrote a note to, a complaint to the jail. I need to know the date of that to see if it was anywhere around this time. Because nobody was like, hey, baby, let me get you on your backside. Thank you, Forensic. Patty, thank you for keeping us informed of the courthouse and keeping us smiling and laughing. Well, thank you. It'll be a 9-hour-long video of them asking for sidebar. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be a full day. Grifting. Looks like her sciatica was pretty good. He did say one of their witnesses did not land until 10. Okay, so that's Maricel Descazo. Like, she's a paid person. Or who else? Wendy? That's it. If they're not flying in until, let me look at the airport. Do you guys have a minute? I'm going to look at the Tally Airport for flights tomorrow and see where it's coming. I don't want departures. I want arrivals. So tomorrow, let me see if there's a flight coming in from Miami tomorrow. Because today there was a flight from American Airlines coming in from Miami at 9:25. And then a flight coming from Atlanta at 10:37. So I don't know if that's consistent. Let's see. Real time tomorrow morning. I'll do American. Tomorrow morning, there should be a flight from Miami on American that gets in at 10:14 a.m. Let me see what the Delta one looks like. Yeah, that's it. So I bet it is coming from Miami. Donna was killing it in the pod. So yeah, the only flight that's coming in at that time is from Miami. So it's probably Maricel Descazo. Patty is a great detective. Thank you. The defense had a year to get ready. Why not come in the night before? I just don't understand. I just don't. I don't. At Kelsey was sitting here since Sunday. I don't know. Let's see. See if there's a flight here tonight. There is a flight. Miami to Tallahassee. 7:45. It would have got here tonight at 7:45. Again, I would rather pay a little extra and have my shit show together than be the freaking embarrassment of Tallahassee. 8:30 be there, court starts at 10, but apparently the witness has to be coming in from Miami. Incredible, more time management. There's one from Dallas. I don't see that one. Hold on, let me look. I only did Miami on here. Yeah, 10:14. There's one coming from Dallas. See, Fort Lauderdale. Oh, sorry. Fort Lauderdale, there isn't a flight. Atlanta. There's a Delta coming in from Atlanta at 10:37, so that's probably not it. Orlando. Nope, no Orlando flights. Not on American anyway. Well, I mean, she could be flying. No, not at all. She's not flying that way. What is happening now about flights? I was trying to figure out who is left on the witness list that could be coming in tomorrow on a plane. So you have Lisa Carey lives here. Kristen Adamson lives here. Tara Kawas could be. Maricel Descalzo could be. Linda Bailey lives here. He sent his lackey, Kelsey. These people are here. So it's it. Oh, you better be careful on that ladder, tinfoil. Please be careful. Someone said the person couldn't be in court till 10, so flight could be earlier. Well, there's only so many flights coming in, you know. Sorry. I still think it's the Miami flight, which is 9:25. But arrived much earlier today, so I guess it just depends. Flight tracker. So anyway, that's my story. I think it's Descalzo. But what does she have to say? Like, what does she have to say? What's the goal of bringing Maricel in? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is she going to say? She was a horrible attorney. The last person I would want of all these people is Maricel Descalzo, who got put down and shut down by the judge. What does Donna have if she doesn't take the stand? She has nothing. I mean, she's better off strategically not taking the stand. She has some chance of an appeal. Just let her take the stand already so that this can be over. You think it's going to be hours. Hours. And then Georgia is going to question her. Not Sarah Catherine. I don't think so. I think it'll be Georgia. Imagine this being your actual job and you're this much of a disappointment. I cannot. Well, when they're walking around looking for Tim Kelly, because they didn't even know where he was. He was in the back of the courtroom and then he left and then they couldn't find him, right? So they're walking around looking for Tim Kelly. And then she's like this. I don't know, Judge. I don't know. I can't even take this. And then the judge is like, comes out and he decides that Tim Kelly can testify. It's trivial in the end. And he goes, the defense needs to look around and make sure there are no other witnesses in the gallery. And she looks around like, turned around, no one else, Judge. Dude, I can't even. You don't think Donna's going to take the stand. Interesting. Can Donna insist to lawyers that Charlie gets on the stand will be her last chance to see him ever? Yeah, but it's in the end, it's up to Charlie and his attorneys. And his attorney, that Laurel chick, has not been in the courtroom since. I think they want Maricel to say to say, Donna, it was okay to fly to Vietnam. Thank you for saying that. Rebecca, are you in here? Was it you that pointed this out to me? Rebecca pointed out, I think it was her. If it's not, somebody correct me. That said, originally, Donna said it was Dan Rashbaum that she spoke to Dan Rashbaum, right? And Dan Rashbaum was on STS saying that I said it was okay for her to go because she did not have a warrant. Nix that. The paperwork now says it's Maricel Descalzo. So that is probably what it is, Jennifer. That Maricel said it was okay for her to go. But what day was Dan Rashbaum her attorney? Because Dan Rashbaum, bring up STS, is sitting there showing his ass saying, I said it was okay for her to go because she didn't have a warrant. I had to check with an ethical attorney before I even answer this question. Very boring day today. Sorry, Debbie. Did not get a notification. It was a spontaneous show. Yes, I have a video on that prepared with her phone call about Vietnam when he said she should go. But why all of a sudden is Maricel Descalzo the truther who says it was okay for her to go? Oh, Georgia rips her ass. Yes, even Edelrash even read it off a piece of paper. He wrote it out. He said so he wouldn't get it mixed up or wrong. He literally read that off the paper. They are lying their asses off now. Dan was just speaking to her as a friend. Where does Wendy live? Could be a connecting flight through Atlanta. She lives in Austin. Her kids live in Austin. So I'm not sure if she's anywhere else. 100%. I love that. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take a picture of that, Jackie, because my husband rarely says I'm 100% right. So I need that in my life. Here you go, Patty. You have proof that someone at some point said you're 100% right. And I'm going to send that to Chris. Rashbaum showing his ass. Gross. Bad lawyering is not ineffective counsel. And that is what ChatGPT says. Justice for Jane. Thank you very much. Justice Jane. Rest in peace. Rest in sweet peace, Daniel Dan Eric Markel. He was born October 9, 72, July 19th, 14. He was a Canadian-born attorney and a law professor. May the justice bell continue to ring. Wouldn't it be great if we had a bell in the courtroom, like when people finish their cancer treatments and they go and it's a big deal, they go ring the bell? I dare anyone, when the guilty verdict is read, to open up their phone and have a bell go off. Lies, lies. Why else would Maricel Descalzo? God, I am not fast enough right now to go in and look at that or find that in that massive docket that is Donna Adelson's. I'll have to look it up. Didn't Donna say she talked to Dan and he said she may or may not make it out? Yes. She said it on the phone. In the open call, she said it. I'm late. Hey, everybody. What a day, razzle dazzle. Supposed to be $1 million. These people did not get paid $1 million. There was absolutely no way. I'm not paying you $1 million and I'm fetching your witnesses. Like, no, it's not happening. Really, why are we surprised these were lying friends? We can't be. Annie was so bad. I knew nothing about the case. Was that before the bump? Oh, these friends are on Donna's payroll. Hey, Debbie says, I realized something. When I read the chat, I do not retain what the host was saying. I missed Wendy asking about DNA on her testimony. Patty, you haven't got to check out the Adelson condo on posh Brickell Avenue. The YouTube is True Lifestyles. You have to see what 1.7 million condo looks like. It's crazy. I have seen it, and I'm a realtor, so I can see it anytime. The inmates look more legit than the defense witnesses. I'm telling you, that Patricia Byrd was convincing to me. She was clear. She didn't stutter. For an addict, she didn't stutter. Patty, have you seen Webster and Baptiste put up at the law for Dan? No, I haven't. I've not been down Thomasville Road, which is where the law office is. Keep wondering if Donna will take the stand. I still say yes, says Rhombohedral. The family should get to ring the bell. Maybe they'll do that. Ring the bell. The friends of Donna and Harvey were no help. Chagrin sat there. He stayed in the courtroom. He sat there and they were talking about whatever. It's annoying. Please hit the like button. There is a Delta flight tomorrow. No, it's by 10. So it has to be landing at 9:30 or 9:15. There's a Delta flight from Austin tomorrow at 10:37. The judge would not tolerate that at this point. This is no $1 million defense. Temu lawyers. I'm trying to say it properly. Temu. Carl was losing his mind with the defense to say, I zoned out. It was beyond insufferable. I was not bored because I can entertain myself completely. The jury, I was just fixated on. That's all. That, I don't even know when good God, when they were like, the pink book. The pink book, is that the pink book that was on here? Like she didn't have 2 other pink books? We don't know if it was the pink book, do we? No, we don't. And there's no audio. And for somebody who's trying to stay on camera, they certainly didn't stay on camera, right? Okay, folks, let's flood the chat with 100% rights. Thanks. Annie was the worst. Annie was bad. When the jury starts deliberating, maybe watching home light candles in Dan's memory. Who are they flying in? We don't know, Penny Packer. We're trying to figure it out. They have nice veneers. I did not like the rich friends of Don Bay. I like being 100% right. Thank you, Patricia. Have you heard the part in the call where Donna reads out the text from Wendy saying, I had nothing to do with Dan's murder. And Donna says, oh, yes, you were. Well, that's what I hear at least. Yep. And now you're not guilty. Like, you got to finish it. Now you're not guilty. And before that, she says, and I'm next. And now you're not guilty. I really hope they do a rebuttal case. I really do. Maybe people watching from home should light candles. That's a good idea. I watched the trial before I didn't watch the trial. They still do have the condo. Yeah. Bristol Towers was Patty was the first to tell us. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Lying friends. I mean, I can't even forgive it. Because if any of my friends said, hey, would you lie for me? I'd say, you know, I love you. I really do. But I can't. Who is the witness there flying in tomorrow? I think I've asked and answered. Is Wendy still in Patty? She has not called me. I know that's hard to believe. But Wendy has not given me a phone call, so I doubt it. That bitch is out of here. She's not staying in here for the week. Donna had 2 years to get a proper team and some form. You don't have form, Zelford. You don't even have form. I agree. The informants were way more credible, believable, and straightforward than the crackerjack nonsense we saw from the experts today. And even Josh Turner, love the country guy. Love him. His voice is silk. I'm like, dude, Georgia's like, and after this, did you talk to someone on the Jason Newland on our team? Yes. And was that the day? Yes. Was it the day before? Yes. Did Drina know that she was going to be questioned the next day? No. And in fact, did we think we were going to wait to talk to Drina? Yes. Because I had a bad back and it was Christmas and blah, blah, blah. Yes. So it was a surprise that you were going to talk to her. Yes. But when you talk to her, here's Zellman coming up with a win. Like he's Columbo. Did you ask her to bring all the materials with you? Yes. Well, that was probably an hour or 2 hours before. Why wouldn't she bring the materials with her? How is that the last question you asked? That I thought, you are really not a great litigator. Even if in 2018 you won some award. Of course she would bring them. How is that a zinger? No further questions, Your Honor. No further questions. Did you ask her to bring all the materials? How is that a zinger to the state or the state's case? How dare Donna try to encourage her jailhouse daughter, who's an addict, to offer her doctor who would prescribe her prescription drugs? Diabolical, I tell you. I couldn't take the jail video, says Jennifer. She was so bored. Hi, my humble opinion. How are you? Annie should go to jail. No one's going to jail. They're not. They're not going to put that old lady in jail. Patty, my daughter had twin boys last November. Today I went with my third child, my son. I have 5 kids, to their 20-week scan to find out I have a little granddaughter due in January. Congratulations, Karen. That is a big deal. Congratulations. Yeah, granddaughters are nice. Grandsons are nice too. I have 5 grandchildren, so I know it's nice. Why did Annie have to say how her husband is rich? Oh, he's made a lot of money in real estate. Yeah, I love that myself. Ronnie Gutterson. Edgewater, is this him? Sage Solutions. Could be. My life partner. I know she said he's 80 years old. Ronnie's 80. Let's see what their house looks like. Now she's saying they're in part-time in New Jersey, but this says New York. So I'll have to look that up. Oh, here it is. Yeah, they were in Edgewater, New Jersey, which is so Jersey. So Jersey. 12025. Hold on. I want to see where they live. In Naples. Is this it? Oh, this is the next door condo. This isn't their condo. It's the next door condo. This isn't theirs. Let me show you. This is Gutterson's next door unit. Cute. Nothing like. It's not spectacular. But Ronnie's smarter than the average bear for not marrying you. You know what I'm saying? Here's 2603. Here's theirs. It's probably pink. Oh, yeah, it's ugly. I'm trying to get it so where it doesn't show an address. It doesn't show a complete address. I don't know how the YouTube gods will be mad at me if I show. I think they've owned it for a while. They paid $390. It's worth like $392. He made a lot of money in real estate. What did he do? Who did he scam? Oh, it doesn't have any photos. I'm flying home to Naples. It's in the Twin Eagles neighborhood of Naples, if anyone knows. She doesn't have social media, right? So she says, but she knows Viber. She's an 80-year-old woman who knows Viber. Sorry, not buying her shit. He was born in 1944. He's got children, 3. That is why he ain't marrying her. My life partner. I thought she was a lesbian at first. Then she said he. And I was like, oh, okay. But whenever it goes to life partner, that's what I think of. I'm completely, oh, you're gay. I found an Anne Cunningham from Naples who has a blog post. Lost her husband, but I don't think it's the same one. Oh, I see it. No, because that one's Wilmington, North Carolina. I don't think so either. Retired artist. Let's see. She doesn't look like an artist. No, that's the person from it's Ann Kimberly. I don't think this lady's Ann Kimberly. I'll have to spend some time researching them. Yeah, she was very firm. They were not married. I mean, she's getting a late husband's Social Security. Why would she? Ann Elizabeth. Ann Elizabeth, thanks. She's getting a late husband's Social Security. She's not marrying anybody. And he's not giving her that any money. There's a bunch of Ann Cunninghams. Let's see, Edgewater, New Jersey. I think that's easier than Naples. I'll have to spend some time on it. You think you found her? You thought lesbian too? Thank you, because I felt a little bad. Not really. But no. I just felt she was a lesbian. Whenever it goes to life partner and they're like a guy, I'm like, why don't you just say your boyfriend? My live-in. My live-in. I have a background app. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what is in Annie's background. I found some stuff under Josh Zellman. Yup. Who do I know where? Who do I know that I could just go? Here she is. 78, no criminal infractions, no speeding tickets. She's had several different phone numbers. 1, 2, 3, 7 different phone numbers. Fort Lee, New Jersey, Edgewater, New Jersey, Pomona, New York, North Miami, and Suffern, Suffern, New York. That's where she lived. Let's see what she drives. She drives a Mercedes Benz GLC 300 4MATIC, white, 2021. Before the Mercedes, she had a Camry. She was the buyer of the place where they lived. Smart guy, Ronnie. Smart guy. They used to live in Aventura. Smart man, Ronnie. Living off your girl. I'm always a fan of that. Let me get Ronald Gutterson, see if he has any dirty laundry. Let's just say that Josh Selman's been involved in some lawsuits. So I'll do a show about it this weekend. Let's see. Ron Gutterson. Where is he? Naples. What, he's 1944? He probably has speeding tickets. Ooh, no. Ronnie. I don't know if this is accurate. If it's him, I'd have to look more, so I won't say anything until I know. He had 1, 2, 3. Dude likes to drive fast. He's driving 80. Likes to drive 80. Not using a seatbelt. I got to check some of this. Okay. Before I say more, but Ronnie, let's just say there is a Ron Gutterson, a Ronald Gutterson, Ronald L. Gutterson, who likes the wacky weed. So we'll have to verify that it was him. I don't have an age. I don't have a year. One was all back in 06. I don't know. I'd have to, again, verify that. But there is one who likes the wacky weed. Let's see if he lived there. He's had 29 addresses. If none are in Palm Beach, then it's not him. No. He's never lived in Palm Beach, so it's probably not the same guy. He was North Miami. Not that he wasn't visiting it. Let's see. Where's Collier County here? Collier County. Collier County's Naples? Stop it. Stick with me, people. No. Let me look. I don't like to call people out unless I know it's true. Come on, case search. No, it doesn't say it. Am I in the right spot? This says Collier County 2020. Mm. I don't think this is the criminal case. I'm going to have to look, but this is... This says in 2020... That's him, but it's not showing up in the record. That's only probate, and I'm going to have to spend some time. Let's see. Ronald Gutterson. He's Ronald Lance Gutterson, Collier County charge. I don't want to say what it is, and then you do one more look. I have another source real quick. So Ronald Gutterson, if you're just watching, he testified today on behalf of Wendy Adelson, and the one source I use says there was a criminal infraction. It wasn't a nice thing to do to somebody, but I can't find it in the court records. So even if he was arrested and there's affidavits, something should show up. So I'm just checking. Yep. He had 1040 birth dates, October 44. Adjudication was withheld. This was back in 07. Possession of marijuana under 20 grams. Guys living large. Let's see what this one in Monroe County also matches his birthday. Not using a soup. Oh, it's his address, Pomona, New York. So it is him. Then there's another one in Collier County I can't find, so I'm going to have to look deeper. Ronnie likes the wacky weed. Yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't want to be the one to say it. Did you find it? Did you find it, Jackie? That's what I saw. I saw the same birthday. She found it too, so I feel a little bit more confident. Ron L. Gutterson, Collier County, battery, touch, or strike another against their will. He speeds like a lot. He had possession charge in 06 and 07. Weed, that's nothing. You found it as well. He sounds stupid. He sounds reckless, right? Doesn't that sound reckless? You're going to hit somebody against their will. That's what the charge says. And you're going to speed a lot. I mean, big speeding to get a misdemeanor, not just a ticket. Damn. So I wouldn't necessarily consider him a credible witness with a battery charge. I wouldn't either. Who's Ron? Ronnie Gutterson was the one that came on after Annie Cunningham today. And they were friends. Au contraire. Remember, he said, au contraire. Patty, haven't been able to find any reports from in the court of the jury reaction to the video. Was it anything like ours? They were bored. They were very, very bored. Rich people are reckless. He doesn't wear scrubs and claims he works at Broward General. Patty, I haven't been able to find the jury. There's a funny video with a guy caught with a joint in his ear. Will Mama Donna be boo-hoo when she sees Charlie? Yeah, like she was with Wendy. Second snowbird equals Ronnie. Ronnie is above the law. Sorry about my comment. I don't know what happened. I don't know either because I can't find any more details. But battery is you struck someone. And it does have to be physical generally. Like it's a 99.9% time that battery has to be physical. Colonel Sanders lookalike? No, that was Richard Chagrin. Ronnie sounds like rules don't apply to him, but he's not psychotic yet. Okay, not all rich people are reckless. I was thinking of Charlie. Yes, au contraire. He said au contraire. Why don't they just call it as they is? They shacked up. Right, Wesley? Thank you. Living in sin, getting it on. We don't know, Andrew, who's going to testify. I just went through the flight schedule. I'm sorry, I don't know. Judy from AA Legal Focus, she was behind me. She says they were bored too. Yeah, she left. Probably went to do work. Hey, Patty N. Patty N was there. She was sitting up front. STS said the jury was bored. 7 of them had their head in their hands at some point like this. He should be real careful as you age. Your reflexes are dull. He's a life partner, a.k.a. sugar daddy. I wonder if I can find her. I got to find her husband's obituary. Probably like a jerk in a bar. Too bad they didn't live in the Villages. Donna better stretch her plastic face for them emotions. I think Ronnie was the second gunman on the grassy knoll. And it's public, so it's not doxing. I know, but I like a second source when I say something like that, your latex pals. So if Georgia looked him up like you did, could she have said that on the stand that he had that charge? Yeah. I'll see if I can find more on the battery. I have the court case number. See, I couldn't find it. Not in Collier County. I mean, I looked. Let's see. When I look up Gutterson, I don't see anything. Melanie, Kristen, Christopher, all these other Guttersons, but her. I don't know. Hold on. Record search official records, request public records. Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm not getting it. Not civil, criminal, probate, and traffic, court date, fees owed. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I'm not finding it. You got it. I don't see it. He's doing okay, waiting for the tests, but scary. I'll stop. Thank you for asking. Would Ronnie have an alias? Not that I found. He just goes by Ronald Lance. When Georgia asked their one friend if a typical Jewish grandmother would say that about dressing their grandchildren in the Nazi outfits. I know, she asked that to Annie. Or to Ronnie, one of the two. They're bringing all those calls about Harvey trying to get the money back from the timeshare. I have no idea. They haven't done it. But it would be hilarious. Ms. Vocal Fry, look at all you like voice coaches. Ms. Vocal Fry got on my last nerve. I had to mute her. I'm sure I didn't miss anything. You didn't. There's a new procedure in plastic surgery. They place a knob on the back of your head and give it a twist. When you start to bag, be careful. You'll wind up with bags under your eyes and a goatee. Who hates everyone? I got to go back up and scream, look at who said it. Who said it? Who hates everybody? God, you guys got to keep me in the center of the loop. I'm so sensitive to vocal fry. It's not our generation. Oh, it's bad. I think, do they do that on purpose? Roberta Glass did not get mad when I said Tom Petty. She got mad. She said the woman's diabolical. I went after her physical appearance. Roberta went after her character. I had to laugh. We don't know if Charlie's testifying. They're not telegraphing like they did in Charlie's. Donna will hungrily eyeing the Valley Girl Tech witness as her second trial daughter next to Ricky Lake. That's what I said. Someone else pointed that out to me. Anyone else noticed Josh Zellman dipping during trial, spits in a black tumbler, keeps on his floor next to his defense table? Very observant. Good for you. Maybe Kelsey was told not to go beyond the scope because they didn't want her to expose anything negative. Yeah, but I still would. I wouldn't be able to stop myself. I've watched a few different channels with guest lawyers on, and no one has anything good to say about Donna's defense or what the actual defense is. I know they don't, but we still don't know what the jury's going to do. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. I wish I knew, but we don't. I don't know. Hopefully Jackie finds it. I didn't. Not while I'm doing this. It's too hard for me. Her Social Security could be more than her late husband's. I received my SS because mine is more than my late husband's. He was career military. They didn't pay into SS. Thank you, worried and pissed off. There's a new procedure. What else do I got? Anything else? Zellman is a snuff dipper. I smoke cigars. I haven't really smoked cigars much since I went on the shot. I just cannot do that. Like, I just can't handle it. Aw, thanks, Lakeside Lawyer. Thank you. Hi, Patty. I'm an hour behind trying to catch up. Excellent points you're making. Thank you. I think the jury has made up their mind personally, but you're right. We don't know. We don't know. I think they should have made up their mind. The media room thinks they should have made up their mind. Everyone I've talked to in the courtroom says they should have made up their mind. You don't know. Annie Cunningham wouldn't have been Donna's bestie if she ever disagreed or challenged her on anything. Donna wouldn't have kicked her to the curb. There is no defense. I don't think there's a defense. But this is a young group. Remember, there's only 2 over the age of 50. I believe the last 2 jurors on the second row over to the far left as you're looking at the jury is 13 and 14. So that will be 2 women. One is the one who wears a mask, and the judge asked her during the voir dire, are you contagious? Because she had a cold, but she's continued to wear a mask. Those 2 women, one is a younger blonde, and then her are out the door. They would be the alternates. That leaves 8 men and 4 women. Juror number 1 is very attentive. Juror number 2 is attentive. He kind of looks around the gallery a little bit more than the others. I see him looking, just scanning the gallery. Number 3 is what I believe is the youngest of them. And if there is going to be someone that is questionable, like a jackpot person, like an unknown draw that's him. He is like all over the place. He's like this, he's like that. He's not like 14 was in Charlie's trial. He's attentive, but he is still very young. Someone told me last week he had his eyes closed and I missed it. And the judge said, he had to be awake. Then there's another juror. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then there's more guys. One software, definitely he's okay. I mean, there's nothing. The 2 other guys, definitely okay. One is the city worker. One is the software guy. Then there's a female. And John Steinbeck came and said that she was I saw her occasionally, but where the attorney sits at the podium, her vision with me is blocked. She wears glasses. He said, was taking voracious notes with her head down when they were challenging the snitches. Then the African-American gentleman is the end. He was the one who had the 2 murders in his. Oh, no, I missed a guy. The bald guy is, he's next down at the end. He was the one whose twin took his identity. Then it's the female who John Steinbeck said was voracious notes. I saw her taking notes, but again, I couldn't watch her the whole time just because of my position in the courtroom. And then the last guy is the African-American guy who had the 2 murders in his family. Hightail it up, far to the right, is a female. They say she's 55. I thought she was older. She's a voracious note taker. She is older. She sits... I didn't know she has a cushion in the chair. She looks like she's sitting higher than the other ones. Voracious note taker, very attentive. Most of them are. I mean, I'm not disparaging at all any of these people. They're very attentive. The one next to her is a really tall, thin guy. He is the civil engineer, and he is extremely attentive. If anyone was showing grimaces and like smirks, it's him. Then it's females. Right. So it's like one other, right? Am I right? One other guy sitting next to him. And then the rest are females in the row. I'm not paying attention to the last 2 because I believe they're alternates. The one that would end up being juror number 12. She owns 2 businesses. She's very attentive. She wears a parka in the courtroom. She's freezing. But the rest of them are very attentive. I'm not seeing anything where I think the jury would be not paying attention, out of it, that kind of thing at all. So I think they got in a lot of ways, we got very lucky because they are an attentive jury, but only 2, the guy who had the twin identity, the twin who stole his identity is apparently 60. And then the female in the upper right is about 55. So everyone else is well below 50. So I think that's just something to consider just because, I'm a Gen X, they're Gen X, those 2 jurors. Everyone else has a different perspective of life and the justice system and charges and what murder is, what murder isn't, and who should be incarcerated, who shouldn't be incarcerated. I think everybody who strikes anybody should be incarcerated. Hit and run should be incarcerated. Like, I think they should be incarcerated. Build more jails. I'm good with that. But they, the younger generation doesn't feel the same way I do. Only thing the defense can come up with are the confused phone times cannot defend the texts and emails themselves. Donna is fried. And Karen makes a great point. Know your audience. There's a civil engineer up there. There's 2 software guys. So there's 3 at least. That if other jurors aren't able to explain that Excel spreadsheet presented by Kelsey, the others will be able to explain it. Just because one chick, and I mean that with all due respect, knows how to sort an Excel spreadsheet differently than what law enforcement might sort it as, because they're law enforcement. So they're going to have stricter guidelines on sorting and the comma separators. They just are. There are different rules when you work for law enforcement or when you work for yourself in a private industry. Very, very different. So if you're new, and I have a lot of new people, thank you for joining us. I am Patty, and I graduated with a cybersecurity degree not too long ago. And we learned that there's formats that law enforcement will require, and then there's formats that a private industry will require. The law enforcement, Chris Corbett, can't go and like add columns, right? He's not allowed to do that because he's law enforcement. Just jumping on Tracy from the Mermaid Cove. Do you have any info on the older lady in all lilac? She was on the opposite of you in court. Yes, I do. I know exactly who she is. And what do you want to know? I've known her for a long time. Patty, do you know why Donna was sworn in previously? Yes, we talked about that. It was because the snitches were coming in and there was something to do with her theory of defense and the judge wanted her to do it. So she did it. It was just an understanding that she knew what was going to happen. Annie was not noted as her sunshine in court. It was not a wasted day, Leisure. It's not a wasted day. It might be a wasted day for trial watchers, but it wasn't a wasted day to show how little the defense has to present to the jury. In that case, it's definitely not a wasted day. There is only one showing the pot case. Okay. There is another one. I just have to spend the time to find it. I wonder if U.S. Marshals showed up at airport for Annie. She probably thought she was getting arrested. I wonder if they drove her back. God, I love that. Thanks for pointing that out, Bongi. Anyone who can offer Donna anything is her bestie. Purple Lady is also a local, was an Olympic gymnast. She was. But I just don't want to go into her like bio without knowing what she wants. She has a very large company. She represents like Coca-Cola. She's smarter than the rest of us. Let's put it that way. Or at least most of us. Spitting in court is gross. I can't believe he's getting away with it. Informers would be better if undercovers, not inmates, getting time off. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm sorry. I love that Patty is nice. Aw, thank you. I don't know that I'm not nice, but thank you. You probably know this by now. I find it fascinating when you give jury updates. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Try. I mean, that's why I'm sitting in there. Otherwise, I could sit here. Patty, I see you in the gallery. I am jealous. I would love to see justice served. I noticed folks are wearing sunglasses, different folks each day. Do you know why? No, it's not a tribute. It's not a code. There are a couple people, because I've asked them because it's been a question. Ruth Markel slipped on a curb, so she probably has some bruising on her face. So she's wearing sunglasses. And the other people I talked to have light sensitivity. You still follow Frau, Patty, and Roberta. I'll just be in the dark perpetually. Who is spitting in court? We're seeing Josh Zellman, the defense attorney, spit into a cup. A day wasted for Donna. Donna's out of the jail. Battery was a 2020 arrest, but it doesn't show what county. He was 75. See, I'm gonna look in all the count. Oh, that's what I'll do. The note taker is voracious with details, flipping through her past notes too. No, she did not have cataract surgery. Okay, I'll keep digging an email. Thank you, Jackie. Did the defense expert get paid $10,000 just travel time? No. Everything was $300 an hour. So if she's on a layover, it's $300 an hour. So it was an estimate about $10,000 because she testified she didn't know. The company knew, but she didn't. I'm sure there's a minimum. Like they're not doing that and you get it done in 2 hours, right? They're going to have a minimum charge. I tell everyone I'm 75 and they always say, "What's your secret?" Lie like a rug. I agree with Patty. At the defense expert about digital data analysis, she was way out of her league. She was way that I'm trying to be nice. She was way out of her league. A comma separator, and I'm still going to say it because people are new. Thank you so much. Is that I had to look at the time because I have to go to an appraisal, but that I'm an appraiser and real estate broker. But that law enforcement is going to have very standard guidelines about what this tech forensic cyber stuff looks like, right? What they can manipulate and what they can't to make them very happy. A private individual like Kelsey doesn't have that. She can add a column, add a descriptor, add commas. She can do whatever she wants. She's a private individual. And that, I think, if they bring Corbett back, I hope he mentions that, is that we have a set of standards. Roll-off isn't going to have those standards. They're just not. Their standard is to please the client. The state standard has to be there because of appeals, right? They have to have it the way they have it. He cannot just rotate in dates and times and numbers. He can't. He can't. Legally, he can't. He can't. He won't. His bio is far more extensive than Kelsey's 100 hours of training. And she sat there like, whew, I got 100 hours. I'm it. 100 hours. I got 100. 400. I got the other one. She said 400 hours. Are you kidding me? I will say it again. Chris Corbett has thousands of hours in these cases. Thousands. Training alone. He mentions when he gives his CV on the stand that he has extra like CEUs he has to take, which total more than 100 hours a year. Thank you, Jenny. It's very kind of you. Very kind. 4-person material. I think the 4-person, of all of you that are in the courtroom, I would think I like number 12 as the 4-person. She's quiet. She's unassuming. She's very smart. I also like juror number 7. No, is it 7? Yeah. The last juror, the one with 2 murders in his family. I like him too. You're a proud baby boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. You see, anybody else have any questions? Hit the like button, please. I understand if people don't want to subscribe and see my face showing up. I get that. But do hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Thank you, Jenny. I love you too. She's very nice to me. She sends me emails. Just lovely. You don't think she's going to get a verdict on first degree, only conspiracy? Interesting. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe I just missed it. Jackie says, thank you for giving us the inside scoop, Patty. You're the best. Thank you, Jackie. Very nice. I try to give you a different look. I'm a layperson. I'm not a judge, a juror. I'm not a masseuse. I'm not a psych nurse. I'm not of those things. I tell you what I am, and I am what I am. But I mean, I think it's good to have like that visual. Like Jimmy McNutty and I were asking, I'm like, these people, the defense side, have no idea what their audience is doing. The audience is the jury. So I'm typing to you all. Jackie Fulford's looking like this. She's looking like this, up, down and up to the screen, sitting next to Donna. Your ass should be glancing over at that jury. Kristen Stewart on the end can't do it. So why aren't you doing it? Like, know your audience. You have lost your audience. You think we need more mental asylums? So do I. Juror in Parka, that would be me. Coldest I've ever been in my life was a Florida bus trip to Kennedy Space Center. Floridians love their AC. Only certain criminal convictions are admissible. I stopped by for some homemade tacos. Spotted you in the court chewing gum. And how is that your fucking business? If I want to chew gum, I'll fucking chew gum. Welcome. Like, people think, oh, that I'm intimidated, or you think I'm rude. The girl who does my hair is in there. And she said to me, she goes, Patty, people think I'm rude because I'm chewing gum. I'm like, who gives a shit? You're not spitting in the courtroom. I guess there's standards, right? If an attorney can spit in a courtroom, I can chew gum. Linda can stay. I don't really care. I think it's possible friends were still not being told the truth. Please, for the love of God, don't let it be raining. Please. I just heard oh, it's not. Okay. You couldn't understand. Yeah, she was a former gymnast. She stood out to me. How do you know her? I just do. I'm not telling that. I know a lot of people in the courtroom. I just know her. Lilac Lady is gorgeous. That's very nice. She is very smart. She's been on STS, so I'm going to tell you what she does. She owns what's called the Zimmerman Agency. They do PR, social media marketing, and I'm talking about for countries. So they don't do let me just show you this. And then I'm going to go because this is fun. But how I know her, I'm not going to run. So she does all of these videos. That's her son. Coca-Cola, Belize, the country. They're just a small, they're I think she has 250 employees. She and her husband grew this from the ground up. Aruba, Westgate Resort, Streamsong, Seabourn, the Ritz-Carlton. That's just some. I mean, I don't know if she hears her work. Belize, the country. Hotels around the world, Daytona, Crystal Coast, Park City, Utah, Rhode Island, Streamsong. South Padre Island, Laredo. She was doing Coca-Cola. She does a lot. She's all over the world. And it's just the little Zimmerman Agency here in town. She was an Olympic gymnast, tiny little thing. Her son takes our photos, but I knew her before that. So if anyone's looking for a job, she's a nice lady too. Very smart. She's on the phone a lot. I like her website. It's clean. But I did know she used to represent Coca-Cola. Great job, Patty. Really appreciate your court reporting firsthand. Well, thank you. Sad what happened to Mary Lou Retton. She lost her mind. Hey, Murder, how are you? Thanks for helping me out in Roberta's chat today. I do appreciate it. Belize has the best designer bag copies. I saw them when I stopped on a cruise. So here's me, like, her son does our real estate photos. I mean, that's how good our real estate photos are. Like, he's very good. And let me see. Let's find a photo of her. Because she's very proud of what she does. Here's the team. So that's Carrie back here. That's her husband. And all of her children, these aren't all of her children. All of her children have C names. But she is she's a force to be reckoned with, you know. But it's earned, if that makes sense. Like, it's all earned. She doesn't screw around. But Cole, this is our photographer. That's her son. Cole will be like, Patty, I have to go. I can't take the photos this week. I have to take them next week. I'm like, Cole, where are you going? Belize. I have to take photos in Belize. Oh, like for fun? This is when we... No, we represent the country. I didn't know countries had representation, but they do. Anyway, she's a lovely lady. She really is. It's a pleasure to know her. Felt like the kind of PI who hunts a person down for bail or snoops on a cheating partner. Yeah, that's probably what he does. I don't know if he does skip tracing. He doesn't have a website, does he? Hold on, let's see. Score Investigations. That's a good question. Score Investigations and Consulting. I don't think he... For all this marketing, remember he said, what do you do? How do you get business? I market. How do you market? Leaving a business card at the... All he has is a LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I'm educated, experienced, kind, hardworking, and energetic that puts the needs of my clients first. I was right. It was AIG. I don't care who you are, how much money you have. You need people to proofread your shit. Okay? Look at that. Proofread your shit because you look like a moron when you can't spell Florida. We tore apart Josh Zelman's website the other day. Like, proofread your stuff. He works out of his house, by the way. Can't. I just can't. The bar is low. Look, if you have someone like me who knows very little, and I can tear apart your website, and you're an attorney with a JD, which I don't have, you have a problem. Like, no one, it's trustworthy and capable, right? When you go to hire anybody, and you're hiring a cleaning lady for your house, trustworthy is number one, and that they'll actually do more than wipe the dust off, right? They actually clean. There's a big difference between wiping and cleaning. I don't know how to better describe it to people, but there's a huge difference between the two. Trustworthy and capable. That's what people need to know you are. Not everyone likes me that hires me, but they hire us. They probably like one or the other, Scott or me. They hire us because we're very trustworthy and we're very capable. I'm only limited to what I don't know, and I'm willing to find out. But I'll be darned if my shit is misspelled. And if it is, and I find it, you know, everyone makes a mistake, I go back and fix it. But I usually have somebody look at my stuff. And nowadays it's easy. That little red line appears underneath your misspelled word. Oh, Eddie. I don't see any of his. I don't know what marketing he does, but I think even on his Facebook, he hasn't done anything in forever, 2020. I jumped over to STS at the time P was on the stand. Tim Jansen was shocked, saying he never heard of the guy. So that says a lot for Tim being around. Oh, yeah. They would know, they would know Eddie Varnes because Zellman lives in Crawfordville and Fulford lives in Crawfordville. So they would know them. It's very different not to know that. But I'm still saying a skinny white guy is walking into an attorney cube at the jail with a very African American female who's had a drug and probably other charges against her. You're not able to build rapport as that white guy. There was nothing about Eddie that I thought, he's charming. He can build rapport. He can put himself in her shoes and knows how to mirror and master and kind of pull stuff out of somebody. No, you don't, Eddie. He markets by sitting in a drugstore in Crawfordville drinking coffee. Norma Jeans. Is it Myra Jeans? Myra Jeans is the restaurant. He's schmarmy. Yeah, it bothers me because they're so easy to check. You just run it through ChatGPT. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else that I don't know. And then I'm going to go because I'm going to run and do that appraisal. Trustworthy is king. Capable is queen for house cleaning. It is. Everything is about trustworthy and capability. Nothing else matters. Just doesn't. Leisure, part of the planning, she knew about it and got it done. Guilty in the eyes of the law. DUI attorney, why is he the trial lawyer for this case? He's Jewish. And he probably cost less than $1 million. And he was willing to take it. License was spelled wrong on that guy's website too. It was. Oh, interesting, Debbie. I thought you would find this interesting. Carl said he had to drop a mod because she was rapid firing, banning way too many people, didn't mention Food by Love by name. You're trying to get your husband to fix it with the people. Yeah, it needs to be fixed. And it's not something I could log into my website right now and change words. It's very simple to do now. Yes. Yes, I do, Leisure. I do think Donna will be found guilty in all charges. No, I mean, not that Carrie's not attractive because she is Carrie, but it's not that woman. No, it's a different woman, detective. Trying a case is a huge undertaking to do properly. You're seeing why. My shit would be organized. You are not embarrassing me internationally. You're just not doing that. Not happening. I would have color photos. I would have labels. I would have Post-it. Everything would be organized. The paralegals would helping me. They would be handing me shit, not sitting there looking like Kristen Stewart. Thank you, Doris, very much for helping me out. I do appreciate it. It does support the channel. It does make me want to come on and be like, people like me. They're willing to give me a tip. I do like it. Forensic says, Patty, thank you for keeping us informed and keeping us laughing. Well, that's my ultimate goal. So if I can make y'all laugh, thank you. And I'm going to chew gum probably tomorrow. So just to let you know. Your latex spouse. Love you, Patty and friends. Thank you for the impeccable behind the scenes coverage. Well, I work on it. Hopefully it's impeccable. Michelle, thank you for being a member for 8 months. It's so hard to believe. So hard to believe. Wesley gifted 10 memberships and I missed it. Welcome to September. Thank you, Wesley. Jenny, again, thank you. Jackie, thank you. I look forward to your email. I'm going to get off now, go to my appraisal, and then go search for any crimes that Ronnie Gutterson. Poor guy. He made the mistake of testifying on behalf of Donna Adelson. I think once you do that, you're kind of free grabs. You know what I mean? Like, and if anybody knows, is just watching from the defense side, tell Josh that we do see him spitting in a cup. It's a thing. It's disgusting. And I'm surprised he's getting away with it. Thank you all so much. I have the best subscribers, the best. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.